You know what they say about old people? They belong in a museum. Actually, I don't think that's what that's about. But we got news that Indiana Jones 5 is happening with Harrison Ford and Steven Spielberg, and that's slated for, what, 20...
But the twist is they're switching positions.
Yes,
2019,
that's right.
yeah.
Spielberg is going to do all the adventure stuff.
Spielberg's going to be like, all right, where do I go? And I don't care. Just run up the thing or something.
Don't make the ball chase me again.
Don't touch that snake. So I don't know. Like we had a cool like old Han Solo. That was awesome. We were stoked to see him put that character back in front of us. But I mean, we're about a decade out from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, almost coming in close on that.
Which everybody, if I haven't invited you yet to my 10-year anniversary Crystal Skull
that's
celebration, we're all the big Crystal Skull fans. We're all going to get together.
The alien's going to be there. The monkeys. Shia LaBeouf is going to be there. He's going to be real mad.
They're actually going to go in and
young Fonz will be there.
Using computers, they're going to go in and replace Shia LaBeouf's character Mutt with Jar Jar Binks in a leather jacket.
All right, so let's get into this, because we now live in a world where we are old enough to see everything we loved growing up get remade or reshot or rebooted. Sometimes it's like shot for shot, like Psycho. Sometimes you just get rid of the original cast and you do a brand new cast like Ghostbusters, or you keep the story going like Force Awakens did, which I think worked really well. One of the reasons that worked well is because that is a story that's been going on for, 30-something years, right?
Also, they set the movie, 30 years after the original, and the fact is it's a galaxy. It's not just one character, unlike Indiana Jones, which is one central character.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, nobody can upstage Indiana Jones. So, like, what do you do with Indy 5 to make it work?
You know, it was really interesting when they did Last Crusade. You really thought that they were setting it up for young Indiana Jones to be the next set of movies, and instead they went with the TV thing, which I think kind of killed that idea, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be a great place to go with a new Indiana Jones. I think, if you recast, it's awkward at first, but I think, Indiana Jones could be a James Bond style character.
Yeah.
It'll be a little weird for the second guy who plays Indy, but then the third guy comes in.
Yeah, no, you look at like James Bond or Spider-Man or Superman, it's like there's certain characters who are big enough that they can carry that torch, but we heard
whenever
rumors
Spider-Man turns 17, a gem goes off on his hand and they push him off a cliff and they get a new Spider-Man.
Yeah, luckily,
every 5 years.
Spider-Man can always just swing to safety.
But Indiana Jones, you're right. He's a character that transcends time. Like I didn't actually realize this until I was an adult. But when I was a kid and I watched Indiana Jones movies, I was always like, oh, these don't really have so much of a running narrative between them. It's sort of just like a damn thing happened and I gotta go get the gold.
That ball's back
Yeah.
again. I gotta run away from the ball. But I think that
But in this one, the ball's a little older too.
Yeah.
And they see the world more in shades of gray.
Don't
they
open
meet
up
with
the
each
box
other.
full of haunts and old ghosts.
I kind of like the idea that maybe this is, maybe you do the Rocky Balboa approach or like the Gran Torino approach where you have him working in a museum and he's like sort of retired and then maybe something happens and he has to like, he has to go back into action, but it is like, he's not out there. Like, I mean, Crystal Skull starts out and he's still doing his same old wacky antics.
Yeah.
And like at that point, it's like Harrison Ford wasn't really, he was in like Hollywood Homicide with Josh Hartnett or whatever,
I think Crystal Skull tried too hard with the Indiana Jones Jr. thing. Like, they really wanted to make sure it was too tightly connected. But the thing is, like, he is a professor. There is some kid, as he gets older, who is one of his students that probably, like, he sees himself in this student.
He's
and they
inspired,
could go on a thing together, you know?
I love that.
That could be amazing.
What about Short Round? Bring back Short Round.
Where's Short Round been,
Short
man?
Round? Yeah.
Where's Short Round? Do we know?
Yeah. I think he's a stunt coordinator on stuff.
Okay.
So maybe get him in there.
So he seems ready to. He's already
Short
on a
Round
movie
comes
set.
back,
Put him
yeah.
in
But I
the
would
camera.
also love to see something that maybe you could do it a little more like Last Crusade, where there's an older Indiana Jones quest that is tying in with this younger guy, and we could go back to young Indiana Jones again.
That'd
That
be
would be a
interesting.
great way to do it.
Yeah. Maybe
I love
he's
it.
retelling a story. Maybe he's just doing bookends and he's like, this reminds me of the time that this thing happened. And then you introduce to a younger one and it's a flashback
Maybe they do
sequence.
3 more and he's on a rascal scooter the whole time. It's fine.
That could be pretty cool, actually.
It's all going to turn out fine.
What do you guys think? Indy 5, are you scared out of your brains? Are your faces melting over it? Let us know. We'd like to know that sort of thing. Are the fine folks on the computer
If your
saying
face
anything?
is melting, don't tweet at us first.
Yeah.
Call an emergency medical service.
I always see that like people will jump on like
Close the Ark of the Covenant before tweeting at us.
people go on a video game forum like, yo, my nose has been bleeding for like 2 or 3 months. What's up? I mean, first of all, if you're gonna do that,
I just
like,
keep shoving this Q-tip in deeper
Yeah.
and deeper into my ear. Is that bad or is that okay?
people are sick of seeing all my clothes being red all the time. Like, I don't know how to fix that.
Yo,
Go to a doctor.
I keep farting micro machines. What's up?
What's up?
Where do these
Hashtag
cars
up at-
come from?
Hashtag up at noon.
I wrote WebMD on my arm in blood.
I felt a little better for a minute.
You guys ever get that? What's it called? Stigmata? Like. All right. Anyway, we got any comments from people watching?
What are you people doing?
Is this thing on?
Sarah B, that's at jukebox_baby says, thank you, Up at Noon, for making me look like an idiot in class, laughing at bootleg knockoffs as I was watching with headphones on. It was great.
Yeah.
That's why there won't be another Indiana Jones inspired by his teacher or her teacher, because all of the kids in class are watching shows like ours in the middle of school instead of learning about going into temples or writing I love you on their eyes or whatever that one girl did.
Yeah.
The whole day she's like walking around talking to her friends. Where are you going? I'm going to school. I'm trying to have sex with my teacher. Check it out.
And all of her friends are like, perfect.
Yeah. Also, everywhere
That'll
she
work.
went.
Do you want to get a weird lunch after this?
She went after that. She was basically flirting. She'd go get a pizza or whatever, and she'd be like, you know, and they'd be like, oh, that girl with the, she wrote a secret message on her eyes, and then that pizza guy sounds crazy.
Or she gets in a car accident. She's like, oh, we can exchange information. Hold on.